industries that are most affected?
To be very honest, I don't think AI has really affected too many jobs in India, except for a little bit of exposure in software. In India, salaries aren't really, really high. So even if you are using a tool, an AI tool, you'd still want a human being to sort of use that tool and run it because the person has accountability, the person has context. But there's also this huge section of people in India and all over the world that, for lack of a better word, their only job is to translate somebody else's instructions. Somebody else has made those decisions, has decided how it's going to be solved, and they're just translating that into code. The original use case for a transformer was the technology behind LLMs was for translation. So if you are doing that last piece, somebody else has come up with the idea, somebody else has written the spec, somebody else is telling you this is exactly how you need to solve it, this is the algorithm you need to use, and then you're writing the code for it, yeah, then you're in trouble. I think we've had 0 people in the team, in my avatar team, that have lost their jobs. So we actually had more work and a larger team. In fact, the average creator at about 2 million followers across Instagram, YouTube would have a team of about 10, 12 people. Our team is slightly larger now. It's about 16 people because the quantity of work, we're also in a very hyper-connected world. Right? So this is not 10 years ago where you get like 3 or 4 opportunities. Now you're getting like 30, 40 opportunities a month. You want to take all of them on. So we keep expanding the team to absorb some of those opportunities.
Farhan, I want to bring it back to grads and grad jobs because there is relatively high youth unemployment in India. I think it's about 16% of under 24. So I want to ask you, given all of the changes to the job market and the technology that we have available, and particularly these roles that we've talked about, the ones that could easily be replaced by AI, what advice would you give to a grad or a student or a young person trying to get a job right now in all of these changes?
What I found to be really great for youngsters is to look at an industry that's growing really fast, but there's increasing demand, but low supply of good talent, or the supply of tools, are not very good. The tools are not very competent and you feel you have a shot at beating those tools, not just today, but over the next 2-3 years.
Farhan, thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you for having me.
Natalia, what would your message be to people who are graduating now in this ever-changing world?
See AI as your co-pilot. AI is going to take care of the menial tasks, the repetitive tasks. Now this is actually giving you an opportunity, for example, in college, to maybe study things that are a little bit more considered soft skills. So again, you're going to study computer science. Why don't you go into philosophy? Why don't you go into psychology? What basically experts are saying right now is what's valuable are soft skills, critical thinking, judgment, essentially what makes us human. So if you can tap into that, if you can tap into what AI doesn't have, what we can add to the AI process, you're actually maybe going to get a more fulfilling job experience. And again, industries like the healthcare industry or even the green tech industry. And what I mean by that is like, let's say solar panel construction. You're going to want to go to these industries that are using AI, but that also need people in order to think about the ethics of it. In order to think about how to improve these AI systems, we're really going to need to tap into who we are as humans and what makes us human in order to stay competitive in the job market.
Natalia, thank you.
Thank you.
That's it from us. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please do check out some